Picture a conference room, cross-country business meeting. Everyone's seated. A woman extends her hand to shake his, smiles, and says, "Did we meet at the Super Bowl? I'm sorry if I forgot." And our guy, who had absolutely no idea he even had Super Bowl tickets, says, "I wasn't there. Are you thinking of someone else?" And somewhere across that conference table, a man in a very expensive suit is starting to sweat. Oh, this story is so good, y'all. Let's get into it. Our guy works at a consulting firm. He's the day-to-day lead on one particular client account, meaning he's the one in the trenches, doing the actual work, building the actual relationship. He and this client have genuinely become friends. Drinks after meetings, dinners, the whole thing. He is also, and this is important, a rabid San Francisco 49ers fan. All day tailgate in the parking lot, red and gold everything, the whole thing. His client knows this about him very well. So when the 49ers make it to the Super Bowl, this client, as a personal thank you gift for all the work our guy has done, gets his hands on a pair of extra company seats to the game. 30-yard line seats to the Super Bowl. He passes the tickets to the partner on the account. Let's call him Slimeball Steve to give our guy as a surprise. The game comes and goes. The 49ers lose. It stinks. But here's what's worse. Our guy didn't even know the tickets existed. So he watched from home like a regular person. A few weeks later, he and his client are out for drinks after a meeting. And the client casually mentions, "Hey, by the way, why didn't you go to the game? I heard someone else was in your seats." And our guy says, "What game? The Super Bowl? I didn't have seats to the Super Bowl." The client's face goes from confused to very, very still. He tells our guy that he had given Slimeball Steve a pair of 30-yard line Super Bowl tickets, specifically as a personal gift for him. He asks our guy to quietly look into it and get back to him. Our guy goes back to the office. He asks around. And through one of the secretaries, he finds out that Slimeball Steve had given those tickets, his personal thank you gift from a client, to a completely different client as a gift from the firm. Now, our guy says he might have let something slide to keep the peace. But these were 30-yard line seats to see the 49ers in the Super Bowl. He was furious. He texted his client, "Hey, I just wanted to thank you for thinking of me with those seats. It appears they were given to another one of our firm's clients." The response came immediately in all caps. "Are you serious right now?" Followed immediately by, "Pretend I never told you, let me handle." And y'all, the client handled it. Over the next few days, the client formulated a plan. He asked for a meeting at his company's offices, requested that Slimeball Steve be present, not unusual, and then quietly set the stage. He found an employee at his company, a regular employee, not a VP, just someone willing to help pull off a bit of theater, and drafted her into the plan. Let's call her Stephanie. Stephanie was briefed. Stephanie knew exactly what to do. Our guy and Slimeball Steve flew out for the meeting the following week. They walked into the conference room, greeted the usual faces, and then there was this woman they did not recognize. The client immediately introduces her. "Slimeball Steve, this is Stephanie, VP from another department. She wanted to sit in." "Hey," and he looks at our guy, "you two must already know each other from the Super Bowl." Stephanie reaches out to shake his hand and says, looking apologetic, "Oh, I don't think so. Did we meet there? I'm so sorry if I forgot." Client turns to her, "Steph, how much did you have to drink? They were sitting right next to you." Our guy, playing perfectly, "Sorry, I wasn't there. Are you thinking of someone else?" Slimeball Steve is visibly uncomfortable now. You can see him trying to come up with something. And then Stephanie, right on cue, says, "No, it was someone from another company in those seats. Actually, I've been meaning to ask, why did we give company seats to them? Is there a project I don't know about?" Because there absolutely was not. These were two completely unrelated industries. Slimeball Steve opens his mouth. The client looks directly at him and says, "Slimeball Steve, I gave those tickets to you to give to him." Long pause. Slimeball Steve tries to throw our guy under the bus. "Oh, well, he wasn't able to make it, so he must have given the seats away," and then turns to him looking for backup. Our guy blinks at him. "What are you talking about? You gave me tickets to the Super Bowl?" And the client raises his voice for the first time. "Slimeball Steve, those tickets were a personal thank you gift from me to him. Did you give them to someone else?" Pause. "Was it another client?" Slimeball Steve. "Oh, maybe something got mixed up in the office." The client went quiet for what our guy describes as what seemed like an eternity to Slimeball Steve. Then he looked down, picked up his portfolio and iPad, put them in his briefcase, and said, "I think this meeting is over. It seems I owe you a thank you gift. Let's go to lunch. Stephanie, you're welcome to join. Slimeball Steve, I need to evaluate our relationship. Please go home and expect to hear from us next week." Slimeball Steve tries to invite himself to lunch for damage control. Stephanie, still in full fake VP mode, looks him dead in the eye and says, "I don't think that's a good idea," and asks the front desk to see him out. The second the elevator doors closed, the room absolutely lost it. Because Stephanie was not actually a VP, she was just a regular employee the client had recruited for exactly this purpose. She came to lunch, turned out to be a fellow Niners fan, and had a fantastic time. Our guy got a desperate text from Slimeball Steve, mid-lunch, begging him to cover for the firm. He replied, "Yes, we need to talk. I'll see what I can do." Kept him dangling for a couple of hours. Then, on the client's instructions, he sent back a response with 4 demands. 1, invoices for the resale value of the tickets, and resale on 30-yard line Super Bowl seats is way above face value. We're talking over $10,000, plus the cost of the lunch, payable immediately. 2, a direct personal apology to him. 3, a written apology to the client's company for what the client considered theft. 4, the client would only work with our guy or another partner going forward. Never Slimeball Steve again. The other partners at the firm were not happy, but here's the beautiful part. Our guy came out of it looking great. Because from the outside, it appeared that he had made a good faith effort to save the client relationship, even though he was the victim. The account got transferred to a different partner, which meant Slimeball Steve lost his profit share on all future work with them. And the other partners made Slimeball Steve pay those invoices out of his own salary. Over $10,000 for Super Bowl tickets he stole from his own employee and gave away to someone else. Our guy eventually left the firm for a better position. The client terminated their relationship with that firm entirely about a year after that. He now works with a friend of our guy's at a competing firm. The relationship survived. Slimeball Steve did not. Okay, I have questions. First and most importantly, what exactly did Slimeball Steve think was going to happen? Did he genuinely believe the client would just never notice that the person he bought the tickets for wasn't sitting in those seats at the Super Bowl? And can we appreciate the level of effort this client put in? He didn't just confront Slimeball Steve, he recruited an actress, called a cross-country business meeting, scripted the whole scene, and let Slimeball Steve walk in completely blind. That is not revenge. That is a production. Also, our guy says at the end of his post that he's still upset he missed the game and hopes the 49ers make it back so he can finally go to one. Well, the Niners did make it back to the Super Bowl in 2024. So if you're out there and you saw this video, I hope you got to go this time. You earned it. Lord knows you earned it. Drop a comment below. What would you have done differently? Would you have confronted Slimeball Steve yourself or let the client do the work? Because I respect the patience it took to play dumb in that conference room more than almost anything. I'll see you in the next one.